Sananda, holding the higher vibrations. I am Sananda, and I come to be with you at this time in these, indeed changing times of higher and higher energies, that are coming in, that are no longer being filtered as much as they were previously, but are being allowed to flow freely into the planet, into the population, into the central nervous systems of more and more people. And that more and more people are able now to begin to anchor these energies, to hold these energies, and not to be in a sense destroyed by these energies. They can handle them more and more now. You see that happening now, more and more across the planet. And know that it is happening more and more. More and more people are able to again hold and anchor these energies, and then spread the energies. And as they are doing that, it is creating what you would call a division between those of more of the darkness, and those of the light. And of course there are those in the middle realm, those that are not of dark, and not fully of the light yet, but are moving in that way, moving in that expression, the same awakening that each of you have had, and are continuing to have. You are all awakening more and more to who you are, and yes indeed these energies can create quite a shift and change within you, a shift in consciousness within you. 1 minute you can hold these energies, and feel them, and be high up in the heavens in a sense, in a blissful feeling. And the next you can fall back into what might be considered a quagmire. Being held back, held down, but then to rise again once more, and that is what you are all going through at this point. 1 minute up, the next down, the next up, the next down. But more and more you're going to find, and more of you are finding now, that you can hold these vibrations longer and longer, these higher vibrations longer and longer, to hold and anchor the light more and more and more, and not fall back so much. And even if you do fall back, you quickly realize it, you quickly know that you have indeed fallen back, and can now rise above it. Rise up once again to the higher levels of consciousness of who you are, and I say who you are, not who you are becoming, who you already are. You have never not been that higher level of consciousness. It is just your mind and your programming that have held you back from realizing and remembering fully who you are. So allow the energies, know that they are coming in, know that there are many reasons for these energies coming in terms of planetary alignments, in terms of lunar eclipses, solar eclipses, whatever it is all coming together as one to bring about these, what have been called, timeline shifts. And indeed these times are changing and are shifting. And as the timeline shift, as you continue to move up into the higher vibrational frequencies and higher consciousness, then you begin to have those experiences, where you may be seeing into other dimensional frequencies, where you may be feeling higher levels of consciousness at various times. So allow it to be, allow it to happen, and even if the energies tend to, as you might say, kick your butts, that is okay, let it happen, let it be, and then rise again, always rise again to meet the next day, to meet the next moment, however that might turn out for you. Just continue to move forward, continue to rise to the occasion, you might say, rise to the energies, and allow them to transform you. I am Sananda, and I leave you now in peace and love and oneness, and that you continue indeed to rise and continue to move forward in the moment, moment to moment, always moving forward, moment to moment. Uniquely awakening to our divine potential. The company of heaven is very aware of the myriad challenges people are facing in the outer world during this greatly accelerated phase of Mother Earth's ascension process. They are also aware of how difficult and painful this process is for the masses of unawakened humanity. But most significantly, they are aware that this cosmic moment is precisely why you, and I, and the rest of awakening humanity volunteered to embody on Earth, at this time. The company of heaven knows that we have been preparing for lifetimes in order to be strong enough and courageous enough to stay focused on the light, in the face of the monumental adversity we are destined to experience as the obsolete paradigms from the old Earth crumble away. We were allowed to embody on Earth, because our lifetime's worth of preparation greatly increased the divine potential that we would awaken in time to assist our unawakened sisters and brothers during this unprecedented opportunity of this unique awakening. The beings of light are reminding us that it is vitally important for those of us who have awakened to the profound truth that we are one with the entire family of humanity, to know that we have the ability to serve as surrogates on behalf of every person on earth. We are one with every person, and we have the ability to invoke the light of God through every person's I am presence, no matter how awake or asleep that person may be. Our Father Mother God recently revealed that the collective energy, vibration, and consciousness of the human miscreations now surfacing all over the world reflect, in one way or another, every single miscreation our fragmented and fear-based human egos have manifested since our fall from grace. These gross mutations of our precious gift of life are being dismantled and pushed to the surface to be permanently transmuted back into light. The successful accomplishment of this dismantling process is essential in order for Mother Earth and all her life to ascend into the fifth-dimensional crystalline solar frequencies of the new Earth. We are in the middle of this process, and as the cleansing progresses, it may even appear in the outer world as though things are getting worse before they get better. It is critical that every one of us truly comprehends the profound truth that the only way forward in the light is through this essential cleansing process. Consequently, there is no turning back. All that is hidden must now be revealed. The clandestine, manipulative and oppressive patterns used by those who have controlled and suppressed the masses of humanity for centuries are being pushed to the surface at this time to be exposed and permanently transmuted into light. It is time for all of us to trust that you and I, and the rest of awakening humanity have all of the strength, skill, wisdom, knowledge, and courage necessary to stay focused on the light, until this facet of the divine plan is successfully completed. The sooner we acknowledge this truth, and follow the intuitive inner guidance of our I Am presence, the more quickly we will begin to tangibly experience the heart-based patterns of perfection for the new earth that we are being called to co-create with every holy breath we take. We have the absolute ability to do this even in the midst of the chaos and pain of this critical moment. The opportunity for the unique awakening that is being offered to the masses of humanity in 2025 through the unified efforts of heaven and earth will activate within you the knowing that you are powerful beyond your current comprehension, because you are one with our Father Mother God, and all that our godparents have is yours. You will also know that you already have within you everything you need to transcend the chaos and co-create the life for which you have been longing. Now, precious heart, if you have the heart call to do so, please join with me and light workers around the world as we empower this activity of light that has been given to us by the company of heaven. And we begin. I am uniquely awakening. I am my I Am presence, and I am one with the I Am presence of all humanity. What I invoke for myself this sacred and holy day, I invoke on behalf of every person on earth, in perfect alignment with each one's divine plan, and the highest good for all concerned. On my holy breath, I now breathe in and out deeply and rhythmically through my heart chakra. With every in-breath, I align with the love of my Mother God, and the sacred fire breath of the Holy Spirit. With every out-breath, my Mother God opens my heart chakra to new breaths and breathes her love into the heart flame of every person on earth. Through this activity of light, the portal within my right brain hemisphere, and my heart chakra, through which the love of my Mother God originally flowed to bless all life on earth, is at long last reopening to full breadth. As the full divine potential of my Mother God's pink flame of comprehensive divine love pulsates through my heart chakra, it is brought into perfect balance with my Father God's blue flame of divine will and power. This balance of my Father Mother God within my heart flame creates the sacred space for the third aspect of the immortal victorious threefold flame in my heart to return to its full divine potential. The third aspect of my threefold heart flame is the golden flame of enlightenment, which represents the divine consciousness of every child of God. This is the consciousness that every child of God was invested with when we were first breathed forth from the core of creation by our godparents. This level of enlightenment is known through all creation as Christ consciousness. Now, on every in-breath my newly balanced immortal victorious threefold heart flame ascends into new heights of divinity, and on each out-breath, through my fully opened heart chakra, my heart flame becomes a stronger pulsation of my Father Mother God's blessings into the world of form. Because of this dual activity, my heart flame is both a portal into the pure land of boundless splendor and infinite light within me, as well as the source of all of the divine blessings from my Father Mother God to humanity, and all life evolving on Mother Earth. My threefold heart flame is the inward portal for my return to Christ consciousness, as well as my communication with my Father Mother God, my I Am presence, and the company of heaven. It is also the open door, through which the blessings from my Father Mother God, and the beings of light, in the realms of illumined truth will now perpetually radiate outward into my daily life, and every particle and wave of life evolving on this sweet earth. I now fully comprehend that through my holy breath, my return to Christ consciousness, and my inner journey back to my Father Mother God are balanced with my outer service to humanity, and all life. I now know and accept that within this balance I am able to once again reclaim my divine birthright, as an enlightened Christ-conscious child of God. As I return to Christ consciousness, my heart and mind are now being recalibrated to higher frequencies of oneness and reverence for life than I have ever experienced. As I live, move, breathe and have my being within this enlightened state of Christ consciousness, I realize that all that my Father Mother God have is mine. I now know that the path of divine love is the way, the truth, and the life for every child of God. With the God-victorious return of my Mother God, and my return to Christ consciousness, I now have the ability to assimilate the entire nature of God's divine love into my heart flame, on every in-breath, as I rise endlessly toward the supreme source of all life. And on every out-breath, I have the ability to expand the patterns of perfection for the fifth-dimensional crystalline solar new earth into the world of form, thus greatly enhancing my ability to co-create heaven on earth. Now, as a Christ-conscious child of God, I once again experience the bliss of knowing that I am one with all life, and that love is all there is. And so it is. Beloved, I am that I am. God bless you, dear one. I look forward to being with you next week. Patricia, Cota, Robles. The elders, redirect your mind. Do you find your mind races? Does it take you here, then there, all the while being never truly satisfied? Do you seek to contain what it seeks to impart by pacifying it? Might we suggest another course of action? Is it time to move your mental objectives in another direction? Is it time for more to now be? Redirect rather than pacify. Let us share an excerpt from Given in Love, then we will provide more. The mind does not understand spirituality. This you know. It does not understand much beyond its realm of ability as it relates to this body. It is brought into being for each lifetime, and then it is no more. It does not understand spirituality, and so it moves the one or other away from what might otherwise be considered enlightenment. It does not want that advancement. This you are now experiencing firsthand. And so let us take a deep dive of consideration to let you know that it does feel as you feel. It does focus upon what you focus upon. And so when you look at something you do not want, it does posture itself to consider how this would be. It is a magnificent creator. It was imbued with such qualities, because it was the physical means to posture and create what was wanted. The mind was the means to do just that. It can create hardship, illness, and any other dreaded occurrence, because this is what it also does. It does take the lowest common denominator, and make it so there is more of this, that, or the other. It takes the lesser aspect and amplifies it. This is what it does. It is not meant to uplift. The soul is meant to uplift. But if you do not seek to connect to the soul, and only mentally, then you get one version, but not the other. You get one voice and think it is the only thing that exists. Most do not know that their soul longs to connect, or how it yearns to assist. But when there is not a preference to learn anything the soul might offer, more distance is created. And that is for a purpose. This is meant to be the life of the one living it. Those living here are meant to make physical choices. They are to decide what they want, and what they do not want. So to demand that the one here establishing their life must tune in to connect, well, that is not to be. Free will is taken very seriously here for those on this planet. It is strictly abided by. There is no measure that we can say so strongly adhere to. And so this life, your life, and where each resides occurs through a series of choices previously made. Do they want this, or that? What will they choose? We will say we will not predict what one or the other might choose, for we have seen how this goes. We see how choice can be altered and changed in the blink of an eye. And so, choices will be as they are to be. And that is that. The mind structures much that one does strive to do within a day. Are they productive? Has the checklist been accomplished? Why hasn't more been done? This is the mental atonement sought by the mind. This is the rationale you might consider and be aware of, for if you cannot tangibly see the accomplishment, then the mind believes it is of no measure. We seek to change that. The mind has been given free rein, and does not want to give up the control it has maintained throughout the life. It seeks to continue in its domination, for why would the mind want to serve when it can lead and direct? The computer has taken over and is now running the show. Giving up power is hard to do. You are experiencing what the mind is willing to do to get its way. It seeks to regain the control it once knew. We have shared previously that the mind is not your friend. It is not to be taken lightly. Monitor what the mind suggests, as even now it seeks to plot and strategize how it can regain that power. The difference here is that it requires you to focus on the negativisms that it seeks to enact. Without that, it has no ability to move those things it conjectures into motion. So when you tune in, when you refocus negative thoughts into better ones, when you give gratitude, it is confounded. It cannot move more into what it seeks to enact. You, and each reading these words, are critical to know how the mental plot can move forward or never be. It is up to you to maintain the mental monitoring that we have suggested in our writings and in our many discussions. This is why we suggest adhering to such recommendations. Not to pacify the mind but to redirect it. This is fundamental and key to a successful outcome, and one that will lead to the best of tomorrows. Chapter 10, Given in Love. This is key, and so, consider now that more is to be. Do you see that it is your focus? It is your posturing. It is what is sought. It is your intent and desire that, above all else, is key. What do you intend to manifest? Your intention here is important. Do not lose sight that you are the true navigator of your vessel. The mind is simply a tool. Do not lose sight of this, or know that this is all remain the conscious awareness of the thoughts you keep. Maintain your oversight and thus your control over all that is sought this day. Mental objectives are endless if you seek to move the mind off and away. If you seek for the mind to take a holiday, consider stilling and slowing its objectives. You see, it will endlessly suggest, recommend, implore more to be in a tangible, physical way. If you are looking to achieve spiritual objectives, the mind is unrelenting. It will move to reroute those spiritual ones. These sorts of objectives are not understood. They remain unknown and deemed unnecessary by the mind. We suggest that you still or slow the mind so that you might get about what you intend to manifest, minus the mind. The mind is relentless and does not take a break, for if it did, your body would not function as it does now. Take charge instead by moving it off and away so that you might discover more this day. Find our Advanced Energetics channel on YouTube. Discover our meditations as you still and slow the mind in this way. Our earliest memories. Do you remember where you were before you were born? Where do our memories go, beginning at incarnation? Our earliest memories disappear from our ego consciousness, but they're still in our subconscious, including memories of past lives, and can be retrieved through hypnotic regression therapy, deep meditation, in a theta wave state, and in consciousness beyond the body. The subconscious records everything, and stores it for us, and for universal consciousness. For the limits of our conscious minds, we've set boundaries of frequencies and polarities so that we wouldn't reach total freakout by the dark force, while allowing it to move gradually toward complete control of humanity. We have things happen to us as a result of giving our life force, through our attention and alignment with energy patterns, to the qualities we hold in our thoughts and feelings. The dark force exists apart from the world of life enhancement. As a result, it has no natural life force. It must be parasitic to us because it needs our life force to survive. If we withdraw our attention from it and instead focus on gratitude, love, and joy, we enter a higher dimension and become exempt from the dark force, provided that we maintain a higher perspective in our thoughts and feelings. This requires practice until we have thoroughly trained our subconscious mind and transformed our limiting beliefs. We are all capable of creating truly wonderful experiences for ourselves and everyone around us by transforming ourselves in greatest love and joy. This is what we all want, which means that it's our innate state of being. We can unlimit ourselves from all of our deeply held beliefs and suffering, illness, aging and death. From within ego consciousness, this seems impossible because the ego cannot know who we are beyond our limiting beliefs. Without limiting beliefs about ourselves, the ego does not exist, except as a cooperating participant with us in the empirical world, which we can direct with inner knowing in the heart of our being. Because the empirical world consists entirely of patterns of energy that our consciousness can interpret as physical sensations, we allow ourselves to believe that things exist apart from us or outside of our conscious presence. We have developed the realization that we are separate persons from everyone and everything else. This is a trick that we play on ourselves, and we all do it together. It's part of human consciousness, which we all participate in empathically and telepathically, without knowing what is beyond the empirical world, or even how we exist. This is where quantum physics can help us. It has discovered that everything is an expression of infinite consciousness. Although the quantum sciences haven't discovered the origin of universal consciousness, we have the innate ability to go beyond the empirical world of physicality and find out about our true essence. We now have many books and video reports from people who have died and come back, informing us about their experiences beyond body consciousness. The reports all confirm that beyond the body our awareness expands as far as we are willing to go in an environment of great love and joy, in the company of many wonderful persons, including friends and ancestors. If we can't transcend our limiting beliefs, we can open our awareness beyond the body, and even regenerate our bodies, and live in this world as long as we desire in deepest love and joy. This is our destiny, and it's governed by our beliefs about ourselves. Source: arrayoflight.com. The other videos are in the English video playlist. Help me spread the light. Click like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.